I had a mentor tell me years ago. I've actually wrote some emails about him, and tough nosed guy, man. This is one of those dudes who was old school, didn't take no shit. And he tells me years ago, and I've actually shared this on Twitter sometimes, but he says this. He said, life would be a whole lot easier if you just got tougher. I would always laugh, like, that kind of makes sense. But the older I get, the more I realize the importance of getting tougher and callousing myself to the adversity that life is going to throw at me. But there's two sides to this. The one side is ensuring that I'm calloused, where I can sustain and be durable through the storm, that I can be prepared for when adversity strikes within my life, so that my emotions don't get the best of me, so that the situation doesn't get the best of me, so that I'm not drowned in fear and anxiety when a global pandemic happens, and I can navigate through it and lead my family to prosper more through it, and someone that they can lean on and grow my business through the adversity. This is one side. It's doing the hard things. It's preparing yourself for when adversity strikes. It's said like this: it's better to be the warrior in the garden than the gardener in the war. You must prepare for the adversity that is to come. Life will be easier if you're tougher. But this is the side two of this. This doesn't mean not being able to feel sadness. This doesn't mean that you can only feel optimistic or tough. There's many experiences that will happen and occur within our life that are simply sad. A loss of a family member, we may feel sadness. A job loss in a career of, man, like it really stunk. Like I really liked the people I worked with, and that stinks. See, I like to say it like this, like on the macro, the big, you gotta be tough. You gotta be optimistic. You gotta be willing and able to endure. But on the micro, within the detail, you should allow yourself to have full expression. Whatever you're feeling is okay. You wanna do this in a healthy manner. You don't wanna project this onto others. You don't want to complain or whine. This is when the micro begins to become the macro. When your life starts to look like the echo of your adverse situations and experiences. On the micro, it's okay to feel like overwhelmed and burn out. This is life. These things happen. I feel sad. Man, I'm really frustrated. Like this begins to happen. But if the echo of your life, the macro, is you're a frustrated person, you're an angry person, you're a complainer. If all of life looks like this is when you know you're going down the wrong road. This is when you know I gotta better prepare for these adverse situations. Highs and lows, you know how it goes. If you're up, it's only a matter of time before you go back down. So you gotta prepare for the adversity that is bound to strike your life. And when it strikes, you're going to be prepared. And you are comfortable with feeling what you're feeling in those moments. It's not even about allowing yourself, because at the end of the day, allowing means like it's something you're letting in, but the reality is it's there even without you, quote unquote, allowing or accepting. These feelings are already there, so it's how we respond to them. I've learned to find healthy outlets, things like ice bathing, sauning, creating space, doing things like going out into nature and hiking, lifting weights, stress relievers, breath work, taking care of my mental. This is good, and it helps me as these adverse situations happen in my life. I recognize how to fall back into peace, because peace is so familiar to me, because I work on it all the time, every day. In some capacity, I'm working on bringing more peace and stillness into my life. I'm also working on preparing for adversity in the physical. meaning a situation occurs in my life that I need to hump. I gotta work 20 hours to get the job done. I gotta work 6, 12-hour shifts to get the job done. I can push myself there mentally and physically because I'm working hard on myself mentally and physically on a day in and day out basis. I'm preparing for this adversity. Now, when this adversity strikes, it can be like, oh, this sucks. Like, yeah, this is a really shitty situation. I'm not gonna lie to myself and be like, oh, I'm so happy that I'm experiencing this adversity. Like, no. Typically happy about it on the other side because I knew it grew me. But when I'm going through it and I'm trying to navigate the emotions, I'm aware like, yeah, this is not the most ideal situation. I am prepared for this though. I may feel like sad about this, or I might feel frustrated about this, but I'm not gonna project this onto the people around me. I'm gonna be able to work through this, to digest this myself, so that I don't, we'll say, project my insecurities or doubts or frustrations onto those who are closest to me, as this is how it occurs in our life. So we must do hard things. We must prepare for adversity when it strikes, but we must also be aware that it's okay to feel. We have this wide variety of emotions and it's okay to feel, but don't suppress. As you begin to suppress these emotions, if you don't have those healthy outlets that I was mentioning, if you don't have these healthy outlets, you tend to suppress, and then with more and more suppression comes projection. And this projection comes out ugly. It comes out super ugly, typically on those closest to you. And then now this starts to become the echo of your days. It's like a negative shadow that just follows you around. It becomes your macro. I want to encourage you to do the hard things now. The hard things might be sitting alone with your thoughts and creating more peace and stillness in your life. It might be going to the gym. It might be eating healthy foods, not just 5 days a week, but 7 days a week. Whatever your hard thing is, lean more into it so you can prepare yourself for when adversity strikes. And if you're in adversity right now and you wish you would have prepared better, it's never too late. Because just as long as you're down, it's only a matter of time before you get back up. And you know how it goes, highs and lows. It's only a matter of time before you go back down. So get in process and be encouraged to stay in process. It's the process. The process is where the magic happens. Sending you guys so much love. Peace.